Hey guys, what's going on? Nutris here. This is going to be my first video in a long time. I recently have picked up One Piece a lot. Not recently, but I've been playing One Piece for a while. And I had a couple friends in my Discord asking me for a breakdown on Red Green Smoker, which is the new deck I'm going to be playing in OP10. So I thought, why not make a video? I see people on YouTube doing this stuff all the time, and it's early, so I figured, why not? I'm gonna try my best with this. I have a couple ways I'm gonna go about it, and we'll see how it goes. Build off the feedback, and maybe make more videos like this. Maybe even a video of me climbing the ranked ladder and showing you guys more gameplay. But today's gonna be more of a breakdown of like ideal curves, what against the meta. What kind of hands you're going to want to keep, and then we're going to go over my deck list as well, and explain possible tech cards. So we'll start with the deck list portion before I switch it to webcam, and then we'll go on my actual my desk here, and I'll show you guys basically dealing hands and what kind of hands you want to see against the matchup. So to start, the leader is Red Green Smoker. Really good leader. On your opponent's turn, all your Navy / Punk Hazards have plus 1,000. This particularly is really strong because on your opposing player's turn, it's going to be harder to KO your things. For example, Chopper becomes a 7, Smoker becomes an 8. Those are the two main ones that they're going to need a lot of power to swing into them and kill them. Beckman does not get it because he's not a Punk Hazard, neither does Kid. So these two are gonna be the main targets for that. It helps Tashigi as well because it makes her a 5 and not a 4. A 4 would mean you need a 2K just off a 5K leader swing, so it does help with that a little bit. But otherwise, it's mainly gonna affect Smoker and Chopper. The other ability is that if you have a character with 7,000 power or more, you set 2 Dawn cards back as active once per turn. If you have a Smoker on the field, you get to do 3 instead of 2. Really strong, really busted. I think it's what makes this deck so fun is that leader ability, and with Smoker, because you're basically going really wide and really big hits fast due to that. And it allows you to play stuff like Beckman right at 7 if you're going first. If you go second, you can play Kid right at 8. Right, because you can leader ability attach to 1 and then still have one remaining, or 2 remaining if you have Smoker. So really good leader ability. The card pool for this leader is excellent. There's a lot of possible tech cards that I don't even use that I can see the vision for. Mainly Green Zoro, Red Rush Luffy. Those are like the main 2 I've seen. Rad Beam. So we'll start going over my list here. First thing is 4 of Otama. I think this is a must. I see people running the other 2K, which is the Punk Hazard one. It's a 3/3 and it only minuses by 1. I don't know why. I know it's searchable, but Otama -2 is going to give you so much more value. And it allows you to KO so many more options with Mulgun. I mean, if you see an Otama, you can KO a 9. And if you see, same thing with using Beckman, if you see an Otama, you could pop an 8K. So it's pretty big. I think Otama's really strong. I think she's still like a top 2K counter in the game. Next, we have Baccarat. Baccarat allows you to trash a card from your hand and give your leader or character plus 2K. This is good if you have too many Hodies or too many kids. I mean, we've all had those games. And you can trash those as filler, and they become 2Ks. It's pretty good. I'm not crazy about this card. I think it could get flexed out. But in the meantime, I don't see a better option. I was thinking about maybe Shiraya. But right now, there's not a lot of leaders that really buff themselves up and swing big. So I think Baccarat is currently the better play. She's also good because you could throw her in off of Kid's Effect. Next, we have Beckman. Beckman is one of the best cards. I mean, trashing a 6K is great. With the power reduction that we have with Mulgun and Otama, it's going to allow for even more. And same with Monet, she's going to do a -1 as well. So if you have a Monet on the board and you play Beckman, you can pop a 7 for nothing. And I think that's really strong. There's a lot of cards that have kill effects, and he takes that all away. He also has counter. So Beckman, very good card. And it also procs leader ability if you don't see this smoker. Next we have Virgo, just your standard searcher. It's going to find the Punk Hazard. This card's not the greatest either. For a deck, usually a lot of decks run 2 pairs of searchers. This one only runs 1. So you don't see it all the time. When you do, it's alright. I mean, you're kind of fishing for Sanji, Tashigi, or Smoker. If you get a Chopper, that's okay. If you get a 10-layer Igloo, that's okay. But, you know, it's alright. It's also kind of cool because if you want to attack with your Virgo, on their turn, he's going to be a 3K. So their one cost searchers aren't going to be able to pop them. So that's what's really... I've noticed that that's really nice because late game I swing with this guy sometimes, and then they have to waste a leader swing or a real character swing to kill it. Or they even attach a Dawn to like a Nami or something, which is blasphemous, but sometimes people do it. Next, some people would say this is power creep. Some people would say this is one of the best cards in the game. Sanji, 3-cost Sanji. This guy goes up to 6k power on your turn, and on KO it draws a card. This is the ideal card you want to play at 3 Dawn. If you're going first, you get to 3 Dawn, you play Sanji. That's immediately what you want to do. It's a really good card. There's no punishment pretty much for it getting killed. I mean, you're drawing your card, which is great, good value, and then you only have to attach 1 Dawn to him to activate leader ability. So if I get forced to go second, I'll usually attach a Dawn to him and then swing 7 with leader if I'm not going against a trigger-happy deck that can KO it in one shot. Next, we have Tony Chopper. Phenomenal blocker. One of the best in the game. You're going to see it run in pretty much every red deck because of the ability that it gains 2k power on your opposing turn. And it's also a 2k. I mean, is there really much more to explain about that? Great card. I play these out a lot because in this deck it's a 7 on their turn, and it can block everything. So I play him out a lot. The 2k is just extra value, but a lot of times you're going to be playing it. Then we have 2 of Monet. I think Monet's a solid card as well. This could be chopped to 1 or maybe 0 even, but I think at the time I don't think there's too many better options. I think it's a really good card. I like the free Dawn off of it, and I think that if you're using the ability and they have to swing into it, she's pretty much a pseudo blocker, right? She's going to be a 4K on their turn, and then you got to swing into it with either leader or a real character. So it's pretty much a pseudo blocker. They're not going to leave it up once you do the ability. And if you have a Chopper to go with it, it's going to stay alive, and it's just going to give you free infinite value. And it's searchable. So for now, Monet, solid card. Next, 8-cost Kid. There's not too much I have to explain about this one. We all know it's probably the best green monster in the game. On your opponent's turn, if he has a Dawn attached, they can't attack into anything but him. And then activate main once per turn, rest this character, play at 3 or less. So you can play out Rocinante, which eats a kill off of Kid. You can play out Baccarat. You can play out Tashigi. And you can play out Monet. Those are pretty much the targets. You can even play a Virgo if you have no other option. But Tashigi will prevent this from getting popped. Rocinante will also prevent this from getting popped. If you get Tashigi and Rocinante, Tashigi will prevent Rocinante from getting popped. So, just a very, very good deck. Very, very good system there with Kid. He's going to be one of the cards that you want to see in your opening hand, most likely. Rocinante, I kind of just explained, but if one of your other rested characters would be KO'd, you may trash this character instead. It's pretty much Kid's bodyguard, but it's also a good blocker. Next, we have Hody. Hody is one of the best cards in this deck as well. I would argue that this is the best card in the deck. I have won countless sim games using this card. Against purple, you just rest their Gum Giant Dawn and you go for game. And if you play him when you're at 10 Dawn, you're getting actually like 5 or 6 Dawn left over if you have a smoker on the field. It would be 6. If it's not, you have 5. But you have so much Dawn to go for game. I mean, you could pretty much pull out a 9-9 if they're at 1 life and just go for it with Hody. Resting Dawn, resting blockers. He gives you so much access to win a game. And then against Blackbeard, when they're muting you and you can't use on plays, he is still a rush, which is just insane, phenomenal. Next is Smoker. I keep saying it, but another one of the best cards in the deck. I mean, this card is another 4-0 that you cannot shorten. It's giving you an extra Dawn, and it has Banished on a green card, which I don't think we've ever seen before. Really strong, really something you're always going to want to see. If you're going first, then you can play him at 5. You're looking absolutely dandy. Next is Smoker Tashigi. If you have a green character other than Tashigi that would be removed by an opponent's effect, this can be bottom deck, this could be KO, this could be anything. You rest this character instead. The only thing this doesn't help with is if they Lucci. If they Lucci both at the same time, I'm pretty sure Tashigi just dies and the other thing dies. So thank God Black is heavily dampened right now, or else it wouldn't be as good. But right now in the current format, this is why Red Green Smoker is going to be so good. Lastly, we have our event cards, Kamakura Jusoshi, or whatever it's called. This is called 10-layer Igloo in English. 2 Dawn, which is easy to leave up because of leader ability. You're getting 2 Dawn every turn. So you choose up to 1 leader or character, it gains plus 3k, and then you can minus something else by 2. So if they swing the standard 7k to try to hit you, you play this, you go up to 8, and you pop another thing down by 2. So that thing can't even really attack. Really strong. The trigger's pretty much kind of bad. It's like Radical Beam, but it could be situational. It's not a bad card. I think this card's... I have it as a 3-of right now. You can play it at 2 and put a Rad Beam in as well, but I think Kamakura is just better at this point. And lastly, Gum Gum Mulgun. I've debated running this card at 4. That's the only thing that I've really thought to myself about was that. You could minus something by 5, and if you have a character of 6k or more, KO a character with 2k or less. Extremely good at Tabani. People were saying that matchup was unfavored. Now I'm thinking more 50-50. If you see this card in your opening hand, you can get rid of Kid so easily because you can minus Kid by 5, putting him at 3, and then KO Rocinante for free. Just ridiculous. I think it's pretty much a win con against Bonnie. So at this time, I'm going to take you guys over to my playmat, and I'm going to show you guys ideal hands against a meta. And let's see. Give me a second here. I should probably edit this, but knowing me, I'm brand new. I'm not going to edit. So I already shuffled my deck, but I'll do a little bit more. And I don't have a Bonnie leader, so we're using a Bonnie parallel. But the rest I have leaders for. I picked out 5 main meta leaders. Shanks, Pluffy, Blackbeard, Bonnie, and Zoro. Alright. My deck is exactly the same that you guys saw online. The only problem is I do not have the Smokers and Tashigis yet. As you know, it is pre-release. And the set doesn't come out till tomorrow. Mine have not come yet. So our 4 Tashigis are going to be 4 limbs. Okay? And then our 4 Smokers are going to be 4 Daddy Nougates. Okay? So, I'll re-mention that if they come up in my hand, but these are going to be them. You guys already know their effects, so I just showed you it on the sim. So we're going to shuffle these in here and shuffle this deck a little more, and then we're going to pick out our first leader and tell you guys our strategy against them. Overall, I think this deck has a lot of legs in the current format, and I'm really happy about it because I like red. And I never thought I'd have the red passion again because RP Luffy was just not doing it for me. RP Law got banned. So that's where we're at currently. Alright. So that's our first deck. We'll pick a leader from random here. I don't know what these sleeves are, so we'll just grab one and we'll start. Okay, so Zoro. Zoro's a pretty tough matchup for us. Okay, so we're going to put Zoro there. My leader is going to be right here. I got a beautiful custom. Really like it. And then we have the regular one on this side. So for the video, I'll use the regular one. Zoro, we're going to want first. They want first. So dice roll, we're going for first. Okay, so let's just say we win our ideal curve and we go first. We're probably going to need to win our ideal curve to have a good chance in this matchup because they're going to come at us fast and hard. So we'll take our first 5 cards. Alright, so our starting hand is 2 Monets, Tashigi, Rocinante, and Kid. This is actually really horrible, so this is definitely a hand I'm putting right back in. Kid could help, but we essentially have no turn... No turn 1 and no turn 2, because otherwise you're just playing Monet straight. You're going to die against Zoro before you can even blink an eye. So we're going to shuffle this back in and try another one. Being a 4-life leader, we have a problem against Zoro. But luckily, I don't think Zoro's that good right now, so hopefully it's not too much of an issue. I've beaten him like 45% of the time, so it's unfavored, but it's not too dandy. So let's try again. All right, 5 cards. Oh, I took 6, so that was there. Another bad starting hand. I mean, we have at least, this is a smoker, so we have smoker at 5 Don. We have 2 Beckmans. We have an Otama, and we have a Hody. We're just gonna have to roll with it since we already mulliganed. So we're going first. We pass. They go second. They probably play out just Nami Searcher. Maybe leave a Don up for the Chopper event and pass. So we take our next turn. We get another Otama, 3 Don. We can't do anything except for swing. So I would probably swing 8 here. And then they take it. So next turn, we're going up to 5. We'll draw another card. We have a Monet. That's not terrible. Monet is not terrible here. So we could play... We'll play Smoker for 5. We're at 5 Don. We'll play Smoker for 5. And then off leader ability, we get 2 back. And then off Smoker, we get 1 back. So here, I'm probably swinging 6. We don't know if he takes or not. And then I play out Monet for 2. Monet will help if he plays that Chopper Searcher down. If he plays that Chopper Searcher down, Monet will help a lot. And that's what we want to see. If Monet can help, that'd be really good. Alright. So that was our last 2 Don. We pass. Next turn we go to 7. Draw. So we just got a Tashigi. 7 Don. We're most likely playing a Beckman, right? We'll KO whatever they have on the board. And now we have... This is a solid-ass board, right? So we have a Beckman. We're getting 3 Don back for Smoker and Leader. And then we swing a 7 Banish. We can swing probably even a 5 or something. And then we can also play out Tashigi if you want. I would probably keep this in the hand as counter. And probably just swing pretty good. So I would swing maybe... I would have probably even done like 8 with Smoker and 7 with Lead. And just start chunking. I think this deck against Zoro would have a chance. You would probably either play another Beckman again or Hody and go for game after that. So you'd be built with a pretty decent hand here, but it just depends on what they see, right? If they see enough rush, right now this hand is pretty good on counter, but I'm telling you, this matchup can be really rough. Mole Pistol's good against them too. But that's really the goal. I mean, Kid in your opening hand is nice. But I would argue that Smoker / Beckman is even better because Beckman can pop anything in their deck, and it gives you 7k to swing with all game long. If they run Mulgun, it also makes Kid pretty bad because remember what I said against Bonnie? If they run Mulgun, it's going to make Kid pretty bad. So I would avoid playing Kid too much and let if they have Mulgun and he's cooked. I think Beckman and Smoker are the better plays here. But Kid is also not bad to have, because if they don't have that Mulligan answer, you're just going to freeze them into oblivion. Alright, so we'll move on to our next leader here. We don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to keep this kind of brief. We'll go with Blackbeard. I know this is a really popular one that we're going to have to be good against. So I think this is a favorable matchup for Smoker, but some people might not play it right. Alright, so we'll do a couple more shuffles, and we'll draw again. Against Blackbeard, this is one of the only decks that I would say you definitely want second, just to put him off curve. You could deal with going second easily, and going second, it lets you play out. It lets them not get Doc Q on 2 Don. So if you see Virgo, you could play him and then pop their Lafitte or whatever they have. So, all right. I'll deal 5 cards. This is a decent opening hand. We have 2 smokers. We have a Virgo. We have a Baccarat and an Otama. I probably keep this. I want to see Hody against Blackbeard, but also Smoker's really good against Blackbeard. It forces them to have Finger Pistol. We'll do our life this time because I forgot to last time, and we'll start. Turn 1, he probably plays maybe a Lafitte down, maybe nothing. And then turn 2, that's us. I draw. I got a chopper. I'm just going to play Virgo. Look at top 5. I'll probably grab another chopper because we already have 2 smokers, and 10-layer Igloo is good, but we need bodies against Blackbeard. And then I'll pass. So he's going up to 3 Don. He's probably playing Lafitte and searching, or playing Doc Q and popping Virgo. If he played Lafitte turn 1, that's even better because he could search with Lafitte and pop with Doc Q. So let's just assume that he did that. And Virgo's dead. And then our next turn, 4 Don. We go. Normally, I want to play Sanji and put 2 Don back up, but against Black, I'm not doing that. Finger Pistol is just too scary. So I'm just going to go ahead and swing 6, which he definitely takes. And then for 3 Don, I'll play Sanji and pass. So Sanji, if he KOs it, I draw a card. He probably won't KO it early. And then, yeah. Next turn, he's probably playing down Burgess or something, and just going to begin to build pressure on us. We'll probably take a life here. I don't counter early against Blackbeard because we don't really need to. We get an Otama to hand. We draw. We go up 2 more Don. Same thing here, man. You don't want to play Smoker because if you do and if he Finger Pistol triggers, bro, you're just so cooked. So I'm swinging 6 with Leader and 6 with Sanji and trying to bait out 2Ks. If not, he goes all the way down to 2 life. And then I play Smoker for 5. I restand 3 off Leader and Smoker. And then if you want, I actually have it in my hand. You can either play a Tashigi, ideally a Tashigi so this can't get popped, or you play, in this situation, I'm going to play Baccarat, because why not? And pass. So, next turn, he's going up to 7 Don, and he's probably going to Finger Pistol something. You got to be ready for that. He's going to Finger Pistol this Smoker for sure. But look, we still got a decent board up. He could swing it to Sanji. If he does, at this point of the game, with a lot of 2Ks in my hand, I give him at least 1, right? So if he swings to 5, I'm giving him a 2K. And we're hopefully keeping him alive. Baccarat, we can even give away our brick. We don't have any bricks. And they have a Burgess on the board. They probably, if they do end up killing Sanji, that's okay. We draw a card. So we pass. Again, he's at like 1 or 2 life. And then now we're just going for the end game here. I mean, we're just pretty much going to keep doing our thing. We draw a card. We got a Monet. So here I'm probably playing another Smoker. Getting 3 Don back. We have 1 under Leader. We swing with Leader, probably just 5. And then I'd probably play like Chopper and like maybe Monet or Rocinante. One of those 2. Pretty much that's the strategy against Blackbeard. You kind of just want to swarm the board. If you, as much of these as possible, you'll keep his hand size down, and he's going to want to force to remove Smoker every single turn. That 5-drop Smoker, every turn he's going to want to remove that. Hody in life, Tashigi in life, and Tashigi in life. That's why we weren't seeing any Tashigis. But honestly, it's a pretty free matchup. The general tips I have is always try to go second. Try to see Hody if you could. It's not definite necessary. And also, play your bodies down before swinging because that finger pistol could kill you off trigger. And don't swing with Tashigi. Do not swing with Tashigi. I learned that the hard way. Alright, next up, we'll do... This video is running really long, so we might leave Pluffy for another segment. Pluffy's real... No, let's just do Pluffy real quick. So against Pluffy, again, you really want Smoker. Banishing his stuff is awesome, and you also want Hody, okay? So this one I'm not going to go through the whole game because he's pretty simple. I mean, you should know how to play against Pluffy by now. He's been around for a long time, and we saw him all last set. Nothing has changed. So, again, you want first. You want first against every leader except for Teach and Shanks. That's at least how I do it. Some people say you want first against everything. I think against Shanks we want second, or else we cannot swing when we're at 3 Dawn, which I don't love. So, against Pluffy, this is... Yeah, see, like, this is a great hand against Pluffy. You get the Hody to go for game later, which you're going to need. You rest the Giant Dawn, and you go for game. And you have both Smoker and Tashigi, which is awesome. You're going to put him in a tough spot. This is going to be life, so you're going to end up... Your 4 life right here, you'll get another Hody off life, which is good. Get aggressive. They like to play Eustace Kid in this match with the 5-drop. If they do, just Beckman it or Mulgun it. The rest, you can ignore. If you do see 8-cost Kid that's also pretty good, they're going to need to Luffy Taro swing into him, and he's probably pretty easy to protect. So, overall, I think Pluffy's a pretty easy matchup to play. It is kind of 50-50, but at the same time, like... You should know how to play Pluffy by now, against Pluffy by now, and that's the general strategy, is to rest their Dawn when you're going for game. Like, Hody probably leads this matchup to be like 60-40 in Smoker's favor. If you can see that card, that could be a win con. If you have a decent hand with a Hody in it, you're pretty set. So, next we'll go into Shanks. Since Shanks minuses everything by 1,000 once per turn, minuses one thing by 1,000. Really annoying. This is going to be your hardest matchup in the format, but it is winnable. It's not super tilted. So here, like I said, we want to go second. I've been choosing our ideal curves every time, but honestly, on a wrong curve, it's not bad either. This deck can operate either way. First just lets you get off the things faster, usually. So against Shanks, I go second. We'll start with 5 cards, and we'll see if this is worth keeping. This is a good hand against most decks, but against Shanks, probably not. Against Shanks, we really want to see Smoker. It's not the easiest thing for them to pop because it's an 8K, and it forces them out of counter really early on because he does have Banish, and they don't want to lose cards. So we want to see Smoker. We probably want to see 8-cost Kid, and we might even want to see Beckman because we can pop some of their stuff. Alright, this is our last chance at a hand. Our hand is okay now. We got 2 Beckmans, a Smoker, a Mulgun, and a Monet. So we'll keep that there like that. 4 life. Turn 1, they always do nothing. We draw. We got a Hody. Oh, we're still at 2 Dawn. What am I doing? 2 Dawn. You could play Monet. I mean, it doesn't hurt to pop that out early. And then next turn, they're at 3 Dawn. They probably swing again, full 8, and we take the life. We get a Mulgun, which we cannot trigger, sadly, and then we draw. So this turn we go up to 4. Do we have Sanji in hand? We do not. So... I would think I swing 6 here. He minuses in one case, or he just takes it. Then we play Vergo for 1. I'd probably grab Sanji. And then we're stuck passing because I chose to attack instead of playing Sanji out. So that was a gamble, but I'm okay with it early on. And then later in the game, we're just going to want to... So next turn, we go up to 6 Dawn. At 5, he might play Yasop, so he might be at 6k right now, which really sucks. But here, we're definitely going to play Smoker for 5. Restand 2. We're going to play Sanji for 3. So we're in a decent spot here. And then we're going to Monet. Right? We want to force him to kill this. It's a blocker, essentially. That gives 2 rested Dawn to our leader. And then we're able to swing a nice 7. So we're putting on pressure, and now we have a pretty solid board. Next turn, he's probably killing this. And we're probably taking 1 more life. If we do, we got a Hody. Draw. Now we got good stuff to swing with. We're going up to 8 Dawn. So they haven't seen Rayleigh yet, which is awesome. Like, they can't really pop these unless he saw Beckman that turn, and he still can't. He can only pop Sanji, not Smoker. So here, we're at 8 Dawn. We're probably going to play out either a Beckman to pop something of his, or honestly, another Smoker ain't a bad shout either. So let's say we go with that route. We play another Smoker. We restand 3. We have good Dawn to swing with. I'm probably swinging 8 here, because even if he leader abilities, he still has to give me a 2 and a 1. If he does leader ability there, now I'm in free range to do much more. You can Mulligan something for 4 if you really want. If he has something on the board, you can Mulligan it, like a Yasop or something. Let's just say we do that. Now their board is pretty much empty. Now we can swing 6 with Sanji and 6 with leader. And we are in a great spot. So going into next turn, even if he starts bringing out the big shit, we have Beckman in case we need it. We have a Mulligan plus Beckman. So if we Mulligan plus Beckman, we can minus something by 5 and then Beckman it. We can even kill a... Damn, we could even kill a 12-cost Shanks with this. A 12k power Shanks. No, we cannot. No, we cannot. We can only kill 11 max. Sorry. And any 11k body you can kill with that combo. So you can play Mulligan for 4 and minus. And then you restand 3. So then next turn we'll have 9 Dawn to work with. And then you Beckman something. And then you still have 2 Dawn to attach and swing with. So that's pretty much the game plan against Shanks. I think if you go second, you're in a pretty decent spot. And you really want to see your Smokers. Because they're going to be hard for him to kill. Smoker is out of Beckman range unless they Otama plus Beckman it. So that's the main goal here is to see Smoker. Sanji's great too because if they waste Beckman on Sanji, they can't use it on Smoker. And if they don't use Beckman on Sanji and they swing into Sanji, you draw a card, which is just, great. So that's the key to winning this matchup. 8-cost Kid is okay, but there are ways they can remove 8-cost Kid. So just be careful. Again, they can just Otama trash it, or they can Rayleigh. Rayleigh it is so bad. That's why I go second, is to keep them off the Rayleigh curve. It just puts us in a way better spot. So that's it for Shanks. And then Bonnie. Like I said, we don't have the leader, so the parallel will do. Bonnie rests something every turn. Let's shuffle this deck one more time. I think the Bonnie matchup is really straightforward, guys. I think that it's only unfavored for bad players. I would go as far as to say I almost feel confident into Bonnie now. So don't be too scared by Bonnie. So we'll do 5 cards. This is okay. No Kid though, and no Mulligan, so I'm probably sending it back. I told you guys Mulligan is like a win con against Bonnie. I mean, you can win without it, but because there are games where they don't see their 8-cost Kid. If that happens, then you're okay no matter what. Okay. So here again, we want first. We'll go for life. Play Virgo. Search top 5. And we'll grab Chopper. That's our only option. Okay. Next turn they play Searcher and Search. That's fine. We'll go 3 Dawn and draw. Nice, we saw Sanji. So I'm swinging 5. They're going to rest this. They're going to take the life. You tap 3. You play Sanji. Always. Next turn, they KO this. Fine. They do some more searching shenanigans. Maybe they play a blocker. Whatever. Draw. 2 Dawn. So we're at 5. So here, we don't have Smoker, unfortunately, which really sucks. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to swing 7. They take it. They go down to 3. They rest leader. That's fine. And then for 4, I'll play Chopper. Just so I have a blocker. If they try to kill Sanji, we can block it. So next turn, they play probably Cavendish. Get some Dawn back. They swing 8. No, 7 maybe. I block, and I give him a... I'll give him an Otama. So we draw. Sanji's alive here. It's not going to be the greatest because his Chopper's going to get... This Chopper's going to get blocked. But here we go. Okay, so 7 Dawn. We don't have much here. This is the only problem against Bonnie. We really don't have much to play with. This is a scenario where if they're starving me, I'll play Hody. I'll rest whatever their bullshit is, and then take a life. Gives me another Tashigi, and then I'm swinging. Not with that, but that's going to get frozen. Whatever, right? So, next turn, they're going up to 8 Dawn. If they have Cavendish, this is the Kid turn. They could play Kid. We draw. We have Virgo. So this is not an ideal scenario. This hand is actually really bad. Let's see what our remaining life would have been. Oh, Mole Pistol trigger would have been... Mole Pistol trigger would have been nice here. But it is what it is. Not the greatest life. But like I said, this match was winnable. I would just say always go first. Try to find 8-cost Kid. If you can't, Smoker's also really good. They're going to try to free Smoker over and over again with Carrot. If that happens, it is what it is. But you could also Beckman to pop the Carrot, which is also really good. There's a lot of strategies here. Pretty much, at the end of the day, like, Hody could also be a win con, because at the end of the game, you could rest their 1 Dawn that they keep up, and the blocker, and just go for game. But that's only in a scenario where they don't have Kid up, right? So, Kid is the pain in the butt. That's why I want to run Mulgun at 4, because that card tilts this matchup in our favor, and if you don't see it, it could be harder. So that's why I've really thought about going up to 4, especially if Bonnie is like tier 1, like everybody thinks she is. Mulgun at 4 could definitely be an option. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. I plan on maybe recording more. This was my first time doing this, and we went through a lot of leaders, so it was hard to keep this short, and really hard to do the ideal scenarios for everything. But if you guys have questions, just let me know. And also, if you guys want to see ranked ladder gameplay, let me know as well. And everybody, have a good one. Thanks for watching, and stay safe. Bye-bye.